So, welcome to the Boss Women Network podcast, where powerful women share their journeys to inspire and empower others. Today, we're honored to feature an award winning author, psychology professor, and dedicated advocate for children with autism, Miss Lisa Jacovsky. She has authored 11 books and brings a unique perspective from her work in applied behavior analysis and early intervention. She's the founder of Diverse Inc. and Books,
hmm
a platform where she combines her passion for storytelling and neurodiversity. Let's get into her story, her mission, how she's changing lives, one book at a time. So, welcome, Lisa. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you
Um,
so much for having me. I'm very excited.
all right, let's get into it then. So glad you came. So, tell us about your background in psychology and how it connects to your work as a children's book author.
I have been in the field of applied behavior analysis for 11 years. I started off working with adults in residential group homes, and I would take them everywhere. So that was kind of the inspiration for my Let's Talk and Happy Thoughts series, where each one is a different social activity. Because I took the adults on roller coasters, we went apple and pumpkin picking. I ran a Special Olympics bowling team. So that part I wanted to show families that autism or any kind of difference was not limiting. All they had to do was allow them to try. So that influenced that part of my books. After 4 years of working with adults, I switched to working with kids. I did one-to-one therapy working in-home ABA in early intervention. And in-home ABA is really where I was first inspired to write my first book, Let's Talk, A Story of Autism and Friendship. And I've always wanted to be an author, always wanted to publish, and it just came up as inspiration one day. I was at work. A little one I was working with, she was mostly nonverbal, but she could read and write. She was amazing. I adored working with her.
Hmm.
And she was the inspiration for my little one with autism and Let's Talk and Happy Thoughts. And I'll never forget, her mom came home and said that they were at the park one day. They were on the swings and she was having trouble pumping, but couldn't understand what her friend was telling her, who was trying to help her learn how to pump on the swing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the little one was frustrated, but she never gave up. So I thought it would be really awesome to show a different side of autism where I showed a picture exchange communication system. 'Cause my little one in the book is nonverbal, but she could read and write. So it shows parents that even though they don't talk verbally, they can talk and communicate other ways. And it can kind of open up that conversation with children too, to encourage them to ask about their friends, encourage them to want to befriend these children. And that's how Let's Talk, that series was started. It led to my spinoff, Happy Thoughts, where the little one that has autism and is nonverbal is actually the narrator.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
love it.
thank you.
So, question. So, what are some symptoms of autism outside of being nonverbal?
So that is one of the biggest symptoms and signs that you're going to see. And every child that came to me in early intervention was nonverbal. It's not
Mm.
necessarily a symptom or sign. The little one could just be delayed. But that and eye contact are two
Ah,
of the more obvious signs that parents can look for. There's also some other signs where if a little one has difficulty identifying a family member, that could also be a sign because
wow.
processing is difficult. So, if your little one's 18 months, 2 years old, and you say, "Hey, where's mommy?" and they don't run to them or look for them, that could be something that's a sign that something's going on as well. So there's little signs that are not so obvious that we don't promote, that we really need to, and families need to know about, because a lot of the families are like, how did I miss the signs? No
Right.
way they have autism. And to me, autism is just a different way to learn. And once you get the diagnosis, it's like a whole new world opens up of resources.
Hmm. One
Yeah.
of my cousins, her daughter was diagnosed with autism. I remember I told her that I think maybe your daughter is autistic, only because she would stay to herself a lot, didn't like her sister to play with other kids, and she would line up her toys every day on the couch, like they just all had to be in the same order lined up. And if you would touch them, she would have a total meltdown if you would take them out of that particular order. I don't know if that was one of the signs, but that was something that made me say, maybe you should have her checked for autism. Are those some of the signs as well? She was definitely
Absolutely.
diagnosed with it.
Absolutely. And it's great that you caught on to those because those are less obvious signs too. You know, people just think the little one, oh, they'll grow out of it. They have social anxiety, but not true. Isolating yourselves, and also if a child is playing with something but not looking up at you, they keep their head down the whole time, they're
Hmm.
not engaging with you either. They're literally ignoring you because they can't process what you're saying to them. So rather, almost like speaking a different language. So instead of engaging, same thing with the social skills. You know, why engage in social activity if you can't understand what the person's saying to you? So that
Hmm.
isolation is also another sign, and the OCD of lining things up,
Ah.
rigidness. It has to be a certain way, has to be certain colors, you know, things like that are all those small signs that we can see between the ages of 2 and 3 as well.
Wow, they do actually grow out of it or learn how to adapt because she seems very normal now. It was going on when she was like 2 and 3, but now she seems more like a normal kid. I don't know if she just received all of the tools that she needs to be able to adapt to different environments, but she definitely seems normal completely
And
now.
that's amazing. She's an inspiring success story because that means she was given all the tools she needed to be able to reach her potential. Because there's no reason that any child with autism cannot grow up to be able to master skills and master things to their own potential. And what it is individualized. It's their potential, not what we think it should be, but it's what works best for them because they just learn
Mm,
differently than we do. You
mm,
know, so OCD leads to anxiety, but that can be worked on. So the
mm,
earlier you get the diagnosis, the better it's going to be for the little one, and then the easier for them down the road as well when they are
mm.
wanting to engage with others, wanting to be able to communicate, go to school. You know, individuals with autism can drive a car. Individuals with autism illustrate my books. There's no
Wow.
reason yeah, about 75% of my books are illustrated by individuals with autism from Brainstorm
Wow.
Productions. Yeah, they're working
Oh,
on number
cool.
12 now. That'll be out in June. So,
How
you know,
amazing.
that's also the mark of a really, really good family
Hmm.
because the more the family is involved and the more they advocate, the better that little one has a chance of achieving their potential. And that's one of the hard things because the
Mm.
resources are not put out like they should be. So that shows that her mom really did everything she could to ensure her child got what she needed.
Aw, but she definitely did.
That's
Um,
amazing.
so those kids that are nonverbal,
Hmm.
do they ever learn to talk? I know I have a friend whose son, I haven't talked to them in a while, but their son was from the age of all the way to the age of 6 at the time, had still not started talking, but I don't know if he started speaking yet. So, and that has been maybe 4 or 5 years since I've talked to them or spoken with them. Do they ever start talking, or is it something going on that is keeping them from speaking?
It depends on the individuals.
Mm.
I've heard stories of individuals talking at 19, in their
Oh,
20s. Some I've heard of individuals talking around 10 or the teenage years.
oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I've worked with adults and seniors that were completely 100% nonverbal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it really depends, you know, and for a lot of families, that's one of the scariest things because we are conditioned to think talking with our mouth is the only way we can communicate. But that's not true. There's a lot of other ways we can communicate that don't involve using our mouth, and we need to promote that in a positive way, a lot
Right.
more than we're already doing. So that way families can see their child can still do everything, still have everything their friends do, their family members do, they just do it differently. And that should be made to be okay.
Mm, okay. So working with the a lot of the families and the children, is that what inspired the diverse ink in books?
Yes, it did. It really sent me into wanting to write something that people can relate to. My experience in the field has been so different. I was raised to be open to anyone, anything, no matter what.
Mm,
And to me, that's so beautiful. I have such an amazing life because of that. And I don't fully understand anything else, to be honest. It's
that's
frustrating.
good.
So for me, having diversity in my books was really important. And it's opened up this whole incredible world and so many other books that I'm incredibly proud of. I have my cat books as well. My Cat Brothers series were illustrated by individuals with autism from Brainstorm. And then I was inspired to write my Bones and Friends series that are about special needs cats. So, every kind of part of my life kind of inspires my work. And
Mm,
I think it's really amazing to be able to do that because it's giving me a lot of opportunities to show something different that this world really, really needs to see. And
yeah.
also, just working alongside Brainstorm is such a blessing. They're so nice, they're so talented, and
Yeah.
each
Are.
book is a different set of 12 individuals. And it's just so incredibly fun to live my dream and combine it with my other passion of psychology like that is one of the best things that could have happened to me.
So speaking of psychology, are you an actual psychologist that works in the office and have your own firm, or what are
So
you?
I'm close. I'm actually a professor of psychology right now. I work
Okay.
full time at a couple different colleges,
Oh,
both community college and undergrad. And that has been amazing too. I actually just found out majority of my summer class has autism.
oh wow.
Yeah, I was really surprised
So
by
cool.
that. I knew with a couple of the students, they had something going on and that one was on the spectrum. But then as we're going around doing intros, they were all comfortable enough to be like, I have autism too. So I was like, that's really special.
Hmm.
So I work as a professor full time and I'm working on my doctorate in school psychology to get my license and add on to my business, Diverse Ink Books, consulting and school psychology.
So when you do school psychology, do you plan on like going to the high schools, junior high schools, colleges, and um, doing those, what is that? Evaluating them to diagnose them?
Absolutely. So that would be testing. That's part of what we do as well. So
Okay.
I want to be an outside provider that can come in, consult, give trainings. I'm doing a lot more trainings. I'm doing a lot more presenting of my research this year as well, which is amazing. So I want to put that all under school psychology and do more of that when I get my license in a couple of years as well.
Pretty cool.
Thank
Sounds like
you.
you got a whole plan. It's all aligned.
I'm trying.
It's all aligned, just slowly coming together, but it's coming together.
That's exactly how I feel that finally, my career has been very up and down. So, at this point, I'm getting a lot of opportunities, which is amazing. And it's kind of pushing me more towards things that I've always wanted to do. So I'm very excited and I feel very, very lucky to have that.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Thank you. I agree 100%. A lot of things are coming and I'm super excited for it all to come out.
So, is autism the most important topic or theme that you highlight in your books and business?
Right now it is. I'm
Okay.
kind of going towards, so I'm working alongside an organization called She Rises,
Hmm.
and it's amazing. There's a lot of opportunities there that I'm taking advantage of that are allowing me to write more and write outside of the autism and special needs realm, which is really amazing. I've started writing short stories, which has been
Cool.
very interesting and different to be able to kind of just flow and write and not have like a limit with 12 pages. So that's been really amazing.
Yeah,
I've been writing
love
some
that.
flash fictions, which is a max of 250 words. I kind of like that more than the short stories. That's been really fun. And it's been really awesome to give presentations on things that I'm very passionate about, like social anxiety and mindfulness.
Yeah.
My platform started with autism and now it's expanding
Okay.
thanks to, opportunities at conferences and trainings last year. One of the schools I work for, SNHU, Southern New Hampshire University, they have some really incredible opportunities I've gotten to take advantage of that have really helped push me forward too. And then I have a bunch of things coming out with She Rises that are going to be pretty amazing and push me forward into a realm of speaking about leadership and combining that with autism as well.
I love it.
Thank
You know,
you.
you said something about short stories.
Yeah.
It would be great if someone would actually come out with some short films to really show autism for children, because a lot of kids get bullied because they have autism, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
even adults get bullied for having autism, or a lot of people don't even understand, or the
Mhm.
parents don't understand that a child is autistic. Something that are showing that or explains that in a film to help kids be able to better relate or adults better relate. And so people aren't treated so differently because they're different, you know.
I 100% agree with you, and I would love to have that one day with my books, because my Let's Talk series, I've had a lot of parents come up to me and say, this really helped me understand my child better. This
Yeah.
really helped me understand, my grandchild, my niece, nephew better, and that really pushes me to keep going forward and self-publishing like I have been. And that's a dream that would be amazing one day. You never
I
know.
love it. You never know. You just never know what the future holds,
Exactly.
because that would be a great film to see, something like that. Short films, or
Exactly.
not even a short film, but for sure a short film to explain or show children and adults about and to learn more about it.
That could
Um,
be a good project to do with Brainstorm as well. They've been asking me about gifts, and there's something else they always ask me about, but it's really expensive because I refuse to shortchange them. They leave the price
mm.
up to me, so I keep telling them eventually I'll be able to do it. But they have been doing, they're amazing. I love it. But they have been doing short films, and they
Oh,
actually, in California, went to an event for short films. Oh, they've won awards. They are blowing up. They're incredible.
wow.
They are so amazing, but that's a good idea for after I get my license to have them turn one of my books into
That
it. So,
would. See, you
yeah.
already have the connection. Sounds like that's going to be in an
Yeah.
alignment for the future.
Yeah, that really is. That is a great idea. I just got to get through school, get through internship in the fall, and I'll have the money to be able to pay them what they should be paid for something like that. So I'm going to make
Aw.
note of that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Inspiration everywhere.
Never know where it's coming from,
Exactly.
huh? Okay. So what have been some of your biggest challenges that you faced in your journey, particularly around marketing your books?
Oh, marketing is definitely the hardest part about being an author.
Hmm.
Everyone asks me, because I've been kind of like publishing a lot. They're like, "Oh my God, how do you have the time? How do you have all these books?" And writing's the easy part. Marketing is the hardest part. I'm very lucky that I have family that is really good with social media. My brother gave me some ideas about how to increase my presence.
Hmm.
And I have another author friend who's really amazing about marketing, so I've gotten ideas from her as well. So, Canva is a really big thing.
Yeah, Canva is, I love Canva.
Right? I'm getting better with Canva. I'm getting better with TikTok, so it's definitely been an uphill battle, but marketing and networking. Networking has been one of the biggest kind of good things to come out of marketing.
Hmm.
That's how I found She Rises. That's how I find podcasts like this.
Okay, yeah.
I had my own podcast as well,
You
and
stopped
that
it?
I did because I didn't have the time after three
Oh,
years, but it's still
oh,
there. I've been reposting episodes.
oh,
That's my
okay, okay.
brainstorm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So, marketing is just because the field is so saturated and there's so many influencers and
It is.
I feel like videos are the way to go. So I'm trying to make more videos and I just figured out the mirror feature on my phone. So now that is fixed. So I got some comments, you need to turn the mirror feature on. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, it's
Yeah,
it's about learning social media, learning what gets people's attention, what days and times to post
true.
things. So
It's definitely a
marketing
lot.
it's a huge challenge, but you really have to push and then just go after whatever opportunities you see. I think that's the best thing you can do is, just say yes to as much as you can too.
Mm, I like that. Say yes to as much as you can, but don't overwhelm yourself, but as much as you can.
Exactly, like what actually works for you. I always think of Lisa Rinna who says, I don't say no.
Wow, she doesn't
I,
say no.
No, she doesn't say no. She's like, I'm a hustler. I say yes to everything. And I
Wow.
get that, but what if it's not something that really fits your brand? So,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be overwhelmed either.
Yes.
So I try to say yes to about 90% of opportunities I
Oh, well,
find.
that's pretty good. If 90%, that's pretty good.
I try. I've got a lot going on this year. The last 2 weeks, I've been working nonstop on things that I have actual deadlines for, which I
Oh.
never really had until now, which is really amazing. But I'm so excited about everything. And my students are so funny. They're just like, when do you sleep? I'm like, I promise I
Not
get.
yet. The sleep isn't coming yet. It's gonna come
I
in maybe
know,
in a
right?
few
Like
years.
it's gonna be worth it in the end. So it's all good.
Yes. Um, you mentioned forging your own path as a major theme. What advice do you have for women trying to pursue multiple passions at one time?
Keep going, like I just said, take advantage of whatever opportunities come your way that you feel fit for what you're doing, because I just turned down an opportunity that really it just didn't fit me, which is
Mm,
okay.
mm,
Sometimes we get into that mindset, we do just want to say yes to everything, but you
mm.
don't want to get overwhelmed and you really want to stay in your brand. So,
Okay.
if you're juggling multiple things, keep going. It's going to be worth it in the end. And really just keep hustling. Keep pushing yourself to do it because I've never been happier. Don't let anybody say anything to you about it. I'm very fortunate. My family and friends are super supportive, so I've
Yeah.
never had that issue.
That is a blessing because everybody do not have that type of support. It's hard out here.
But I 100% agree. I am so ridiculously lucky and blessed for that,
Yes.
And if you don't have that, then network and find your people. That's one of the best things you can do too, because there's a whole huge, amazing, supportive author community that has really been helpful too. So I think that's one of the best things I can advise too is find your people. Find those that can support you and be there for you and help you grow and move forward. It's not easy juggling two careers,
Yeah.
but it really is worth it. So remind yourself of that too.
Yes. Do you have any projects that you're working on with any other authors, or do you collaborate outside of with your students or other children with autism?
You. So I just actually got this today, which is really amazing. This is the catalog of diverse kids' books. One of my author friends, Tom Tracy Jr., just put this together. It's actually free. So this is my author copy. PDFs are free, and it's all different books. I keep going to my page, that means to. So I put two of my own books in here, but it's got different themes. It's got a table of contents. It's 150 plus books. We're giving it for free
Wow.
because honestly, every festival that I go to, I'm asked for this.
Wow.
The parents all ask me, do you have other recommendations, other authors? I get this a lot in interviews. So this is a really, really cool collaboration. Our pictures are on the back. This I'm incredibly proud of and super excited about. So this is one
Wow.
collaboration. I collaborated with another author that's Italian. We're currently working on getting a traditional publisher, and we're pretty close. So I'm very excited about that. Our book is pretty different, two different stories about bullying. So that's really exciting and coming soon.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm also working with She Rises Studios on a bunch of different projects. The next one to come out will be their brand new magazine called Ink, INK, Incubator.
Oh,
And
wow, that's cool. I like that.
oh, it's so cool. I'm so excited. It's about authors and writing, and I wrote my first article for it.
Oh, cool. Congrats.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. So I have some really incredible collaborations coming up, and I'm open to more. So I'm
Cool.
very hopeful.
All right. So that you heard it straight from Lisa. She is open to more collaborations. She's not
Absolutely.
turning down much of anything. She's taking on 90%.
Exactly, because it's just enjoyable and fun, and do it now before I start internship, the full-time parts. I start
Oh
part-time
yeah.
in October. I start full-time next April. Whew, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna need the break.
Yeah. You're gonna be busy. You're gonna have a busy schedule.
Exactly. It'll be worth it though.
So before we get out of here, tell everybody how they can get that book, any of your books. How can they find you if they would like to just reach out to you?
So my social media is Instagram and Threads, Diverse Ink Books. My Facebook is Books by Lisa Jacovsky. My TikTok is Lisa Jay author. I put out the link to this PDF. It's actually on Tom Tracy Jr.'s website. His website is Scoochie and Skittles, I believe, because it was easier for the PDF from there. Or you can always email me, Lisa at lisajay.net for the free PDF. You can also buy my books on Amazon and Barnes& and Noble, or you can DM or email me for a signed copy, free shipping as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. That's giving away all those free books and free copies.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
so excited that this is free, like this is free marketing for us. And
Yes.
it also is just such a good resource for families because I did a festival in April and a mom came up to me. Her daughter just got diagnosed with autism, and the daughter was so sweet and she was telling me
Oh,
about their journey and she asked for that. And I was just like, oh my
oh,
God, I can't wait for it to come out.
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, so very, very needed, and that's the first edition, and I think there's going to be a lot more editions.
I'm pretty sure because you
Yeah.
sound like you have a lot coming and it's going to be continuously growing and more books to come and
I
all
hope
of the
so.
different great things that you have going on. So kudos to you. I'm excited for you and all the great things you have coming in the future.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited. Book 12 comes out in June. Sequel to
Okay.
Happy Thoughts. It's called Happy Thoughts Going to the Beach, and I'm very, very excited about that as well. Cover will be dropping soon, too.
Dropping soon, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Lisa, for sharing your inspiring journey. Your work is a beautiful reminder that representation, passion, and persistence truly matters, especially in the lives of children and families navigating neurodiversity. So, to our listeners, if you're looking for a children's book that celebrate difference and teach compassion, visit her. All of the social media links that she gave you, go check her out. Go find her. Go to Amazon. Go to her Instagram. Go to websites. Just check her out. Get your signed copy. And until next time, keep building, keep dreaming, and keep being a boss that you were born to be. Thank you again, Lisa, for joining me on the Boss Woman Network podcast.
Thank you.
And you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much. This was amazing. I am so
Yes.
excited to have been here. I'm so excited. And I can't believe I got the book the same time. Amazing.
Yes. Ah.
I love
All
it.
right.
Thank
That
you
was me
so
too.
much.
You're so welcome.
Bye.
Bye.